Hi everyone, I'm Lauren Vahdani. I'm a singer-songwriter based out of Los Angeles, California, originally from Texas. Really excited to be releasing my debut full-length album later this year in July 10th on my birthday. And my next single, What's Good and What's Right, will be coming out this March. So stay tuned for the song and music video on that. In the meantime, you can check out the 4 singles I have from the album out already. And check me at Lauren Vahdani on Instagram. You're listening to Hanks Jr. at Hanks Corner. Thanks for tuning in.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr., part of Hank Jr. Productions, where I'm documenting life's moments through photography, videography, and of course, podcasting. And we're back and rolling with the newest episodes and the best stars that I can find out there. And tonight we are talking with Lauren Vahdani. So, Lauren, welcome to the podcast. It's great to have you.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
Now, I want to find out exactly where you're calling in from because I know you have roots in Texas, but stars are all over the place. Where are you actually calling in from today?
Yes, I'm based out of Los Angeles. So I'm here in Los Feliz in Los Angeles. Been living here since end of 2019.
Okay, well, now we were talking offline and you were talking Central Time. For some reason, I thought maybe you were, in the Central area. So I need to make sure that I change that. But I did see that, on social media that you're out there in the Los Angeles area. But, you got roots in Texas, I mentioned, which is where I come from. Those that follow me know I'm in a little corner in Tampa Bay area now. But growing up and spent a lot of time in Texas, what part of Texas are you from?
Nice. I'm originally from Dallas, a suburb of Dallas, Coppell, if you're familiar.
I am, and I spent most of my time in the Corpus Christi area. When I was in high school, I did spend some time in the Arlington area, and we would always, when we lived in Corpus Christi, we would always come up to Dallas for at least one hockey game a year, and that's when the Philadelphia Flyers play the Dallas Stars. Really loved that, but being out in LA, being away from the Dallas Fort Worth area, what do you miss, and what do you like about LA?
Well, first of all, I have to say I have some cousins that live in Corpus. So my mom's from South Texas, so definitely very
Okay.
familiar with that area. Um, but yeah, what I miss most about Texas would be the people, my family and friends that are still there. Grew up with a great group of friends and family. A lot of them do still live there. A lot have moved all over. But I do make my point to visit quite often. My parents were just here last weekend, so technology and flights, we make it work. And then what was the second part of the question?
Well, yeah, just what you missed about Texas, but what do you like about LA?
Yeah, well, so LA, what really drew me to moving out here, I did always have a draw to Southern California. Even as a kid growing up, would visit family, friends, and I just loved the ocean and the mountains and just everything that California has to offer. But what tipped me over to moving was obviously the music scene. I was living in Cincinnati, Ohio for a few years actually before I moved to LA, kind of in the corporate world that had brought me there. And when I started writing this album that I'm now putting out and really deciding to lean into my music, I wanted to move somewhere there where there was a thriving music scene where I could naturally network and collaborate with other artists and just be inspired to kind of live the non-traditional life. I love how there's people out here just going for their dreams, kind of unconventional dreams, whether that's music or entertainment or entrepreneurs, whatever it may be. It's really inspiring for me to be out here.
Yeah, and for those that know, last year in the August time, I did get to make it out to the LA area. I got to do work with my full time job, and I'm going to put that in quotes because I don't know how much work I was getting done. This little seminar that we had out there, and of course, I got to bring my family out there because my wife's a huge Disney fan, and we hadn't been to Disneyland in a while, and so we got out there and did that. But of course, there's like you said, the music industry is definitely popping out there. And I know it's not necessarily like Nashville. It's a little bit different, a little bit more diverse. But I did get to see a lot of my, Nashville-based artists out there. Had a good time out there. It's not easy to get there from Florida, but anytime I can get back to California, I'm enjoying it.
Awesome. Well, let me know next time you're out here.
Definitely. And I want you to talk about your latest song because every Friday I put out the New Music Friday post on Facebook. And what I try to do is I try to get, new artists out there that I haven't seen before. And that's how I came across your music because you had a song, Can't Let It Be. And tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so this song I wrote back in 2020, which is crazy to think now that's like 5 years ago almost that I wrote it. But yeah, it was during the pandemic and I had just gone through a bit of a heartbreak and I, really started using I've grown up writing my whole life, but 2019, 2020 I really started using writing poems and songs kind of as my personal therapy outlet to get through everything I was going through in life. And so that's just kind of how I processed everything I went through. And this song just came out of me one day. I was went to my keyboard at my apartment at the time, just down the street from where I'm living now, and was just kind of in my feelings and sat down. It just came out of me. Some songs come just really quickly. A lot of my songs do just kind of hit you like a lightning bolt. Sometimes they take a long time to finish. This one was just kind of one sitting out and done, and it felt really cathartic to get it out there. And I've always had a special place in my heart for it. For some reason, I never thought it was going to be single material. I thought it was more of like a me song. But then whenever we produced it, it just came into this really full, more anthemic song and resonate with a lot of people and decided to make it a single.
Yeah, that's great. And of course, like I said, that's how I came across you. I heard it and I heard your voice and I was instantly hooked. I was a fan. So let's go ahead and play Can't Let It Be here on Hank's Corner.
Woke up with a pit in my stomach, wondering what I was or wasn't to you, to you. I miss the way that we felt together. Thought that maybe this could be forever. Did you? Did you feel it too? And I wonder if you're hurting too. It's always fine, yeah. How are you? When I ask how you're doing, how are you doing? I'm sad but I put on a smiling face, say yes to friendship, but I want more with you. Don't you want it too? Things change and life gets in the way, but these feelings, boy, you don't just go away. And I hate that I didn't get a chance to say what I wanted. Yeah, you pulled the rug right out from under my feet. Why don't you wanna try it all with me? What's wrong with me? I can't let it be. Can't let it be. Oh, let it be. Can't let it be. Can't let it be. Oh, let it be. You shut down when inside of your head. Wish you pick up the phone to talk instead. Why can't we talk instead? Thought that we could work the distance out. Didn't think you'd be so quick to walk out. Yeah, you shut me out. Yeah, we shine so bright in the top, hang the sky. I never thought you'd be the one to say that. Was it all a lie? Yeah, the sun don't shine as bright in San Diego. That you could love me, turns out you're not able. Why aren't you able? Things change and life gets in the way, but these feelings for you don't just go away. And I hate that I didn't get a chance to say what I wanted. Yeah, you pulled the rug right up from under my feet. Why don't you wanna try it all with me? What's wrong with me? I can't let
Welcome back to Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr., and you're listening to my special guest, Lauren Vahdani, and that was Can't Let It Be, her most recent single. And, definitely loving it and loving your voice. It's definitely refreshing. It's something different that I enjoy. And, just the type of music that you put out is awesome. And, this section is going to be all about you. The second section, I always want to find out about the artist and, document life's moments, like my tagline says. And but before we do that, I love playing the game where I got to guess a little bit about you, and you're going to give me, if you want to play, three statements, and two of them are going to be true, one of them is going to be false, and this is the two truths and a lie. And at the end of the podcast, without trying to sneaky question you into giving up the answers, I'm going to have to try to guess which two are the true and which one's the lie. So if you want to play, let's do it.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Two truths and a lie. Okay. I grew up on a farm with 16 different animals. That's one. Another one is, let's see. I once took a 35-day camper van trip with my dog Lucy, starting in Denver and going up all along the West Coast before I moved to LA. Just living on a camper van, hiking and exploring the cities and national parks along the way. And the third one is, oh man, I'm really bad at this game, aren't I?
Well, that's okay. The worse you are, probably the better I might have at guessing it. But,
I know. I'm like, I'm really gonna get this answer. What was my first one? Oh yeah. Okay. The third one is actually, I didn't ever sing for anyone until the end of 2019. I was too shy to share my voice. I used to just write my songs and share in my notes and I would speak them to friends. And then they were like, you got to do something with these songs. They're great. So I started doing vocal lessons in 2019, and I really was not comfortable singing for anyone until 2020.
All right. So what I need to figure out is whether or not you grew up on a farm with 16 different animals, and that's interesting. That the number 16. I got to figure out how exact you are with the number of animals you have out there, and then you're very specific too on this one. You took a 35-day trip with your dog Lucy out in a camper, and I've seen you on social media with your dog, which I'm assuming that's Lucy. That's always there, and figure out whether or not 2019 was the first time you decided to sing for somebody. So we'll figure that out by the end of the show. We'll see if I guess it right. But I'm already having fun playing with you, win or lose. I think this is probably the little most entertaining that I have with these questions. But so tell me a little bit about your story. How do we go from the little Lauren girl, and don't, like I said, don't give away the whole singing thing, because that might give it away. But what were some of your influences? What turned you on to music, and then when did you say, hey, look, I'm going to make the step to do this professionally?
Yeah, so I grew up always kind of creative, right-brained, exploring the different arts. So lucky that my parents gave me opportunities to explore that at a young age. I started piano at age 4. I was classically trained in piano. I danced since I was 2, so I did all the kinds of dance, ballet, tap, jazz, lyrical, did dance competitions, and I also did art. I painted, so I was always kind of living in that right brain. And music was always such a big part of my life, whether it was with piano or just like the anthem of life. Like I loved singing and dancing in my room, or, with dance, you're, doing the physical interpretation expression of the music. So it's all closely interlined with everything I was doing growing up. And I also was always a big writer. I remember my first grade teacher told my mom she couldn't wait to read my first book, but maybe I need to send her my first album instead. Maybe I'll write a book one day. I decided I might do a book of poems one day, because sometimes what comes out of me is just a poem or a journal entry, and sometimes it turns into a song. But yeah, even though I loved the arts and that was always my biggest passion, I don't think I really thought that was a possibility for me to explore it as an adult. I thought I had to have, a normal career, and that's just my hobbies, and there's no way I could make it, whatever making it means these days. So I kind of just, when I went to college, went to the University of Texas, got a marketing degree, kind of just like performed in school, achieved to achieve, and really didn't find another sense of purpose, something I was super passionate about. And I just fell into this corporate career path that made me a decent income. But fast forward to when I was 28, living in Cincinnati, I just like had achieved what everyone would call, the success. I had the good job, I bought a house, I had the dog, the car, the friends, but I was super unhappy because I was not feeding that creative side of myself, which is so important to me. And I realized, like, I kind of took some time to slow down, and I realized, like, I needed to integrate that back into my life. So I still had my keyboard that my parents had bought me years ago. It traveled around with me. So I started taking time to sit down on it. I started taking time to write. And that's when I realized, like, it just kind of like opened the faucet, and like all the years that I had deprived myself of fostering that side of me just kind of came out. And I wrote the album that I'm putting out now. Really, all the songs I either wrote from start to finish or wrote majority of 2019 through 2020. Of course, I've written a bunch since then, but it was that spurt of just outpouring of writing, and these songs that I really believe in. And I started sharing with my friends and got a lot of good feedback, and it made me just feel so like lit up and alive again, like how I used to feel growing up. Like, it really connected me to my authentic self. And music had helped me get through hard times for like other people's music. So I thought, these songs must be coming to me for a reason. Maybe this is my calling to like to put them out there. And even if just a few people can connect to how I'm feeling, make them feel less alone in their feelings and their experience of the world, let's do it. Let's go all in. And I tend to be someone that when I go for something, I do dive 100% in. I don't do anything halfway. So that's when I was like, okay, let's buy my first guitar in Nashville, do vocal and guitar lessons, make a plan to move to LA. I really wanted to release this album in 2020, and I actually released a 5-song EP of 5 of these, or I recorded a 5-song EP of 5 of these songs, but I wasn't happy with it. It was my first time in the studio. I was like, okay, let's take a step back. Let's like figure out the process, figure out my sound. And I really had an attachment to put all of these songs together in an album, and I finally am doing that. I got sidetracked for a few years. I was in a duo for a bit, and the pandemic, things kind of like knocked me off the path of what I initially moved to LA to do, which is my solo music career. But happy to be doing it now, and I feel like things happen for a reason, and I finally found that people like to collaborate with, and the sound, and just kind of my identity as an artist. And I'm happy to, whatever wayward path it was to get here, I can always say, I wish I would have pursued it sooner, or maybe I could be further if I did. It's my personal journey. And I think this is kind of where I'm meant to be at this moment.
Yeah, and you talked about starting really early on, and it sounds like you were enjoying it early on, because I know sometimes when I talk with artists, they'll say, "Well, yeah, my parents put me in, like for you, like piano lessons or whatever." And they say, "Well, that was a waste of money because I just stopped playing it, and it wasn't until years later I picked it back up." But there was, like you said, something in you from a young age that did that, and then you missed it for so long. And that's something that we don't always see, too often. Obviously, people enjoy doing it, and they go out, but to have that fire burning in you, and that it kind of shows, with some of the writing that you do. But who was influencing you at an early age? I mean, like, who were you singing along to, or what type of music were you dancing to, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I had a wide variety, because there was, the old records like the Eagles or Moody Blues or James Taylor that my dad would play. And then there was like pop radio, country radio that I listened to with my friends, or like my brother was a big, 90s alternative rock fan. So I kind of was exposed to a lot of different music at a young age, not to mention the songs I would dance to and whatnot. But I really gravitated to like those iconic 90s female singer-songwriters like Jewel, Alanis
Mhm.
Morissette. Those two like always really spoke to me because I loved just their authenticity and their songwriting style, their vulnerability in their lyrics. And you can just like feel their emotion with how they sing and how they write. And even just like throughout my life, I find myself gravitating towards artists that really just are super authentic to themselves and really vulnerable in their writing. I think that's really powerful.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm glad that you brought up those two artists because, it's just kind of the way that it happens that most of the people that I have on here are, leaning towards the countryside. And so they have, same thing with you when they talk about the females, but they mentioned like Shania Twain or Taylor Swift. And to hear some of these new names, it's just awesome that in every genre, is speaking about with the females, you can find that there's a strong female artist that is always inspiring others to kind of follow suit. And you mentioned you kind of want to do the same thing for somebody to, either be inspired by your music or, find comfort in your music. And I'm sure by now you've had at least one person, if not hundreds, come up to you and say, "Hey, that really helped me through this time," or, "You're inspiring me." How does that make you feel now that you're on the other end of it?
It feels really good. It's kind of what gave me the courage to do this, to go on this crazy path, because it's scary to put yourself out there. It's scary to be vulnerable, but in doing so, you allow others to do that for themselves, and we kind of all resonate, heal, and grow together. So yeah, it's I think that's kind of what drives me in my music, is just being my authentic, vulnerable self and inspiring others to do the same, whether it's inspiring someone to pursue their own creative endeavors or just like, tap into their own feelings and not feel like alone in that experience. But yeah, it's anytime somebody says that like they can resonate with one of my songs or it's like helped them through, it feels really good. It's kind of why I do it.
Yeah, and that's great. I've always said on the show, I've been jealous. It's a good kind of jealous, but it's jealous of the people like you that can, write stuff down, put it into music or some kind of art form to help other people. Because I really can't do that. But then I look towards you people to do that for me, and so I can listen to your music and I can say, yeah, that really helped me through. And so, good for doing that. Definitely loving it. So we're going to go ahead and do a double shot of your music, and when we come back, we're going to have some fun.
Awesome. Thank you.
It's so hard to sit with uncertainty, trying to figure out what all of this means. It starts so good, then it turns bad. Always the same, and it's so sad for me. For me, I can't eat, I can't sleep, I can't breathe. Wondering if you stay or you'll leave. Yeah, you're here and then you're gone. But on a break before how long? How long? How long? Long before you pick up the phone. Tell me what's on your mind. Waiting for you to tell me if you're hers or mine. Why can't I leave it alone? Just want a heart to call my home. Feel so alone. So alone. Anxious thoughts is a good to fall apart. It pulls me away and it breaks my heart. I'm stuck in my head, but I wanna be with you. Anxious thoughts is a spark and it fades away. It slips through the cracks and I wanna stay. I'm reaching for help, but I can't be saved by you. Love is an anxious love. Taking everything in me to let go. Suffocated by my need to know. Never been good at moving on. Are you just stringing me along? Feel so wrong. So wrong. Wrong of you to take all of me. And just like that, I tell you I'm hurting. And you can't even text back. Where is that guy I used to know? Could you turn from hot to cold? You're so cold. You're so cold. Anxious thoughts is a good look at me like I'm the only girl in the world. It's almost like your eyes could right into the depths of my soul. I didn't realize that I wasn't the only one you hold. Thought I was special, guess I can't believe everything that I'm told. Should've never given you the benefit of the doubt. And then push me out. Ooh, so much better without you. The benefit of the doubt. It makes me sick the way that I thought you were just the perfect guy. I wanted all of you the day you served me up with goodbye. It must be exhausting the way you live your life in a lie. I think of it, I guess I'm glad it's early night. I should've never given you the benefit of the doubt. You and then pushed me out. Ooh, so much better without you. The benefit of the doubt. Just when I thought that we were getting closer, you left me standing there thinking it over. I give it away, the benefit of the doubt. I wonder if she knows that's the look you used to use on me. And I wonder if you'll ever find the validation that you seek. How many other girls will have to find it out the hard way? You'll play your cards, get what you want, then leave them all thinking that they should've never given you the benefit of the doubt. You pull me in then push me out. Ooh, so much better without you. Benefit of the doubt. You pull me in then push me out. Ooh, so much better without you. Benefit of the
Welcome back to Hank's Corner. You just heard Anxious Love and Benefit of the Doubt, a double play by Lauren Vahdani here on Hank's Corner. And so this last section here, I'm going to have to try to guess the two truths and a lie. So for those that are playing along, here's what we're working with Lauren here. And, I just love the specificity. I can't talk. The specifics in her choices there. But she grew up on a farm with 16 animals, 16 different animals. She took a 35-day trip on a camper with from Denver out to California with her dog Lucy. And 2019 was the first time she decided to sing in front of somebody. And one of those is not true, and the other's true. And I don't know. I'm gonna have to guess on one of them. So it's gonna be a 50-50 with the one I'm not sure about. But I'm gonna say that you did take a 35-day trip with your dog, because it just seems like you're that close. Am I right on that one at least?
That is right. It was one of my favorite experiences.
Yeah, I can imagine, and I'll get back into that with you because I definitely want to do something similar. But I'm stuck with the other two. Whether or not 2019 was the first time you decided to sing, or if you grew up on a farm with 16 different animals. And Dallas, Fort Worth, or Texas in general, there are a lot of farms out there. I know when you get into the Metroplex, maybe not quite as many. So I'm just going to have to guess on that the truth part is that 2019 was when you first decided to come out and put your music in front of people.
That's right. Good job.
Oh, okay. A little deductive reasoning there, and like I said, I'm just guessing based upon where you were living. I mean, I know the general area where it's at, but I don't know how close into the Metroplex you actually are. But tell us a little bit about this camping trip, because it sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, it was 2019 was one of my favorite years of life. That's the year I decided to move to LA. And I left my old corporate life and kind of took a year off of that. I'd saved up some money and kind of took a year to do everything I never allowed myself to do in those previous years when I was on that path that I kind of fell into. And part of that was I did like this coach training program in Sonoma for a month, which is where I like really tapped into like my real dream was music. And then did some traveling in Europe, and I had a bit of gap time before my lease started in LA October 1st. And I was like, okay, I could travel some more. I could, hunker down. I could go to Nashville, like work on music. I was like, what's something I want to do that's going to feed my soul? And I had met through my coach training program some friends like that had told me about this thing called van life, and I'm like, what is this? This sounds cool. Like in this, like my friend and her husband were like converting this van and gonna like move out of their apartment in San Francisco. I was like, that sounds so freeing. And I grew up camping a lot, and I love being in nature, love my dog. And I was like, this sounds fun. I was like, maybe I'll like test out if I like this like van life thing, like, and maybe like I'll want to own a camper van one day. So I decided to rent a camper van. I drove from Cincinnati to Denver, where I had some friends that lived there, spent a couple weeks with them, and then picked up the camper van. And I kind of just had a loose route, hitting national parks along the way, hitting some friends and family that lived along the way. And I went up through Wyoming, like did the Grand Teton National Park. Beautiful. That might have been my favorite stop, Jackson Hole, and then the Grand Teton area. So pretty. And every day we just kind of wake up and I go hike, look on all trails, find a hike to do. We did kayaking. I put her in a backpack. She's a little 17-pound golden doodle. So I got like a little travel backpack for her, put her like the backpack. We did kayaking, we went biking. And we went up through like Montana, Idaho, Seattle, where I have friends and family. And then we did all the way down the coast to LA. So I got to see the redwoods and like the Oregon coast. I had never been to those places, wine country down. And then I ended in Phoenix area, met my parents. They picked up my dog, and I went to this yoga training I'd been wanting to do in Sedona. And it was just like the most special time of my life because I was able to take a break from like my job that I hated and get to just like to spend time with myself and nature and family, and did a lot of writing and just kind of like soul searching. And I highly recommend if you have a chance to do anything like that. Yeah, it's very freeing.
And that is definitely awesome. And I'm going to just throw this out there. As I introduced myself at the beginning, I talk about that. Well, photography, videography, and podcasting is what makes up Hank Jr. Productions at the moment. But I'm going to throw this out there. If you ever want to do a movie about that time in your life, give me a call, because that sounds so fun. And I think it would be great to go back on location and recreate that. Or, if you have somebody, play your part. And I'll ask that in a second. But, to do that, if you ever want to do a movie, let me know. I'll definitely do that.
I'm down. I got the
let's talk offline, definitely. But but I've never asked this question before now, so that's coming up. If you can have, let's just say it's a few years down the road, and so you're not going to play yourself because you're a little bit older. But who would you pick to fill in as an actress for you? Would you have any in mind? I mean, I've never asked that question, so most artists don't even think I got to answer that.
Yeah, interesting. First of all, what are you talking about? I'm never aging.
No, you're not. That's true. I mean, I've seen your social media, and that is actually true. I've seen pictures back from 2013, and you look exactly the same now.
No, I don't know about that. But let's say it's funny because I've gotten people have told me actresses that remind me of or remind them of me, but usually they're older. Like I get Selma Hayek sometimes. I'm trying to think who, like a younger actress that looks like me. I'm not. I don't know. Do you know any?
Honestly, and I'm stumped too, because I don't know if we're similar in this way, but as far as like getting a grasp on, the younger actors and actresses. I really don't, because
Yeah.
honestly, I would want, they're obviously older than me, but I would want somebody like Tommy Lee Jones or Robert Duvall to play me. And they're all old men now, but
Yeah.
so I don't know who really I would want to play me as a younger. So I can feel your pain there, but maybe we'll just have you play yourself, and do that. So, well, you heard it here on first on this podcast that Hank Jr. is now moving into the movie industry. But
My people always tell me I should write a book or something about my life. So, I'll write the book, you make the movie.
yeah, and that's awesome. And it works for you being as a female, because let's just say that it was me by myself as a male. I don't know that it would go over as more of an adventure, finding oneself. It sounds more like a scary thing with a man by himself in a van and his dog and traveling the backwoods and all that stuff. So I think it definitely works better with you. But, good thing that I have my wife, and I told you that I definitely would love to do a trip like this. And we've talked about specifically California, flying into San Diego and working our way up, because every time that we've gone to California, we've gotten to see a little bit of snippets here and there, because it's kind of been on work trips, and I don't really get the full time to do that. And California is such a beautiful place out there. Definitely want to do that.
It is so pretty. Well, let me know when y'all decide. I can give you some tips.
Oh, we love that. And for the last part, love to do a little rapid fire questions, just some fun little things, and some have to do with music, some maybe don't. But California has a different food style out there, definitely, than Texas. Even the Mexican's different, because Tex-Mex is different than a California Mexican. But while you're out there, what are some of the favorite things you like to eat?
Yeah, so I actually, in 2019, right before I moved here, I became pescatarian, much to my family's dismay. So it
Oh,
actually
no
works
more
so
beef.
well. I know, no beef, cows are friends. No, yeah, so I'm lucky that there's so many good options in LA for that kind of diet. But funny enough, I have found the one place in LA that has real queso. Of course, it was started by a fellow Texan called Home
Mm,
State. Have you ever heard of it?
I have not.
Okay, if you come out here next time, you need to try it. Even to give you some of that, Texas feel, kind of like Austin style tacos. They have really good homemade tortillas, queso, guac. I feel like I'm back in Austin, so that's like kind of
Mm.
nice. Like if I need like a little comfort from home food, shout out to Home State representing Texas. Um, and I'm such a creature of habit. Like I live in Los Feliz. I can walk to a lot of restaurants and whatnot. So I tend to like go to the same places, and they tend to be like where I can walk. So I guess I do a lot of tacos, because there's another taco place called Tu Madre on Hillhurst that I love.
Mm.
They have a really fun patio. You kind of feel like you're in Mexico, and those are more like fusion tacos and good drinks, fun vibes. So those are Tu Madre is like I go there like at least once a week. It's kind of embarrassing.
Oh, give it up for two Madres then. And you mentioned drinks, do you have a drink of choice?
They have a good margarita and a good Paloma.
Oh, sounds good. And given the opportunity to get on stage with anybody, who would that be?
Oh man, that is hard. There's so many amazing people. Like if I could with one of my two female heroes, Jewel or Alanis, that would be pretty awesome. Or I'm gonna say so many people. Dolly Parton. I would love
Mm.
to meet her. She like her whole essence is amazing. I thought so cool that she recently did that collab with Sabrina Carpenter. I would love to meet Dolly.
And you
There's
know that she's taken auditions for somebody to play her in her biography movie too. So I've seen a lot of people out there doing auditions for that. And maybe we could take some notes on how they do it.
Well, yeah, one of my friends is in the running for it. I'm rooting for it. You know Haley Brown from the Doohickeys?
Oh, no, I don't. But now I got to look that up. So she's in the running, huh?
Yeah, she does a great impression of her, and she has a beautiful voice too. So I'm rooting for her.
Well, good luck to Haley out there. Definitely would love to see that, to know somebody that actually will get the part.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't gotten the opportunity to see you yet, but hopefully I will, and hopefully you'll be on my wall back here. But should somebody come to a Lauren Vahdani performance, what should they expect?
Me, just kind of unfiltered me. I kind of like some people I feel like have like maybe like characters they step into and they play. And I think just like me and my music and just me in general, like I'm just very me. So I have my little funny anecdotes I in stories I put between songs. And just like really heartfelt, and I like to connect with the audience and make it kind of an interactive experience and make people feel seen. I tried, yeah,
Well,
I just wanted to
oh,
be
that
like,
definitely sounds awesome. I love the interactive, and I can just picture that. So hopefully, I get out there to see it, or who knows, maybe you'll come to this side of the country one time and play for us over here. But there you guys have it. We're talking with Lauren here, and if you haven't yet, go ahead and follow her on social media. You need to do that. Definitely got some great photos up there and great videos. I mean, that artistic side just kind of flows through you, and the I think sometimes the video is lost. It's a lost art. I mean, obviously you talk about MTV hasn't played a video in I don't know how many years, but I look there, and you got a lot of videos for your song, and that's pretty cool. So everybody please go check that out. And of course, Lauren, if you ever want to be a guest on Hank's Corner, you're more than welcome to.
thank you. It was so fun. Thanks for having me, and hope to see you out here or on that side of the country at some point. Saw myself in your eyes and my world was shook. Got my heart melting with just one look.